This week's Freestyle Friday is dedicated to Black America and Black Lives Matter. Usually I do a little pre-story going into what the rhyme is, and the pre-story this time are some thoughts before I get into the rhyme. I kind of want to hit 3 bullet points. Number 1, media has to stop showing all the bullshit. They need to stop showing all the looting, all the rioting. They're getting away from the main issue. The main issue here is a man was murdered, cold-blooded, in fucking broad daylight by a police officer with 4 police officers standing around watching. Not a motherfucker jumped in. And the person that called the cops was a brown person like myself. Ain't that about a bitch? The issue is being redirected by the media. We're talking about looting. We're talking about rioting. Who are they showing? Are they showing all those white kids running out of H&M in vans and shit? Because that's what I'm watching. Those are the thugs I'm watching. I don't see a lot of black people running in and out of stores. And if they are rioting, and if they are looting, that's a direct result of what the fuck just happened. That's a direct result of the last hundreds and hundreds of years of oppression, of hate, of anger that's been placed upon the black people of the United States of America. You ain't gonna condone their fucking anger? How are you gonna get mad at their anger? You should just be happy they're not retaliating. You know what I'm saying? Because if a white person died, they would be killing black people with impunity. Or I should say immunity. Qualified immunity. Check that motherfucking term out. Look that up. Ask a cop. They know all about that. I can't condone cold-blooded murder, but I understand the rage that everyone has to riot. Everyone's got a threshold. Everyone's got a breaking point. Martin Luther King's death sparked riots across 11 states. Rodney King's beating caused LA to burn. There was riots in Watts in the 60s. The riots in Harlem in 64 when the fucking police shot a 15-year-old kid, James Powell. They've been killing black people for hundreds of years in this country. Ain't no one doing a motherfucking thing. And you know what? It's got to change and it's got to stop. And we all know that. This shit been happening. The justice system needs to wake the fuck up. The justice system could have just locked these motherfuckers up, charged them, convicted them, put them on trial, and put them in jail. And a lot of this shit would have just stopped. You know what I'm saying? The people that pay the salaries of the people who run the justice system need to stand up. And the people that are in the justice system need to be held accountable for their fucking actions and the actions of the people who are presented to them in their system and in their courtrooms. Second thing I want to touch on is who's at heart for fixing this issue. White people created this issue. Don't get it twisted. White people created racism. They brought black people into the U.S. The black people didn't come voluntarily. They weren't coming on a vacation. They were brought to the U.S. without their will, without their consent, and they've been treated like shit for hundreds of years. Racism was enforced upon black people. They put that on black people, and then they expect black people to fix the issue? No, fuck that. It's up to everyone to fix the issue, but importantly, it's up to white people to lead the change as well. Right? How can you create a problem, put it on people, afflict people with it for hundreds of years, intergenerational trauma, and then sit back and be like, nah, fuck it, ain't happening to us. Why do we gotta fix it? It starts with everyone, but it also is very important to note that it starts with the people that created the fucking system in the first place. Black people shouldn't have to continue to die to create awareness that there's an unjust system that whole country lives off of. And there's a lot of people that benefit from that. Black people have been killed, murdered, brutalized, traumatized, threatened, and treated without dignity and respect for far too long. The cops are killing people in broad daylight. They're being filmed. They have accomplices. And still getting to go home at the end of the day and eat dinner at their fucking table and hang out with their families. I live in Canada. We have racism here too. I grew up with a shitload of racism. I remember being in grade 4 and a dude walking into our classroom and saying, "Fuck you Hindus, go back to your country." That's fucked up for like a 10-year-old. I've been dealing with this shit since I was like 6 years old. Since I was a kid, man. You know, we all deal with this shit. So like, I started scratching my head when, you know, I know as a brown person that this afflicts me. I know it afflicts all Asian people and all black people. Why aren't we all coming together to fix this situation? This shit fucks with all of us. We shouldn't have to just sit back and watch black people get fucking traumatized and be like, yo, that's their problem. It's all of our problem. It's all of our issue. We're all in the same fucking boat. I have a daughter who's 6 years old. Since she could, you know, comprehend sentences and stuff around the age of 3, I've been telling her about how to be proud to be a brown person. Proud of her heritage, proud of her culture, proud of her skin color. And I love it because she will come home and be like, "Daddy, I saw this brown person doing this thing and I was so proud of them. Daddy, I was watching this TV show and this brown person won this competition. I was so happy for them. Daddy, I'm so proud of my culture." When has a white person ever had to tell their child to be proud of their culture and their heritage? Probably fucking never. And that's fucked up that we got to learn this shit from a young age as children, that we are going to be treated differently, that we're going to be looked at differently. Why? Because their skin color's different? How fucked up is that? She's proud. I'm proud. You know? I've been roughed up by the cops. I've been pulled over unnecessarily countless times. Never have I feared for my life, though, in any of those situations. Why the fuck should anyone have to fear for their life talking to the cops? The people that are supposed to protect and serve? The people that are running over regular citizens trying to protest, running them over in their fucking SUVs and in their cars, secretly telling each other over their radios to do the shit they're actually doing that's being filmed on camera. And this is okay? This shit ain't okay. I've never thought I was going to die in police custody. But imagine being a black person. Imagine being pulled over. Imagine having to talk to a cop thinking this might be the last fucking breath I breathe. That's fucked. Alright? If you're a white person, fuck it, if you're any person, any race, put your hand up right now if you would trade places with a black person and live their life, live in their shoes, and deal with their circumstances. Would you? Would you trade places with a black person right now? And be like, yeah, I'll live your life. I'll live in your circumstances. Put your hand up if you would. I don't think a single fucking person did. And you know why? Nobody would want to. And that's the biggest problem. We know the problem exists. We watch the problem exist. We don't do a fucking thing about it. Yes, it's up to white people to be at the forefront of fixing this issue, this systematic issue that they've created. But it's also the responsibility of every other citizen that has any dignity to help create the change. We can't all just sit back and be like, that's their problem, they got to deal with it. They'll fucking figure it out. Fuck that. It's everyone's problem. This is a humanity issue. This is an issue that affects humans on a whole, not a race of people, not a particular group of people. And of course it does. Let me not get slighted and take away from the fucking argument. Of course it does. Of course this is all about affecting one race and group of people. But as humans, we need to come together and stop seeing this shit happen. We can't watch another black person die at the hands of the police. We can't watch another brown person die at the hands of the police. It can't fucking happen. And if it does and it continues, and we're all still sitting around not raising our hand because we don't want to trade places with a black person, that's our fucking problem. That's on us. We need to all come together and fix this shit. Everyone knows this is wrong. It's time to stand up and do something, man. It's time to stand up and fight for change. People are quick to appropriate black culture, the music. Fucking white people even want to be our skin color. They go to tanning salons, but they don't want to deal with any of the real life shit. Everyone needs to wake the fuck up. Thirdly, and this is directed solely at the United States, Republicans need to wake the fuck up. Democrats need to wake the fuck up. The people need to wake up and get Trump's ass out of office. That dumb motherfucker has just turned that country upside down, and he cannot be in a place of power for any longer. These people need to be accountable. These politicians need to be accountable to the people of the country, the people that fucking elect them, that pay their salaries, that fund all of their campaigns, that show up at their rallies, that have some sort of hope that they're going to answer the questions that they have and they're going to present a better life for them and their communities. Those politicians need to wake the fuck up, grow some balls, get Trump out of office. I don't know how to do that, but I'm sure there's a way. And I'm sure that people that have that type of support, that type of clout, that type of knowledge can surely come up with a fucking way to do so. And they're going to have to. They're going to have to. The justice system, again, needs to wake up. Start putting these crooked cops in jail. Don't let them fucking prance around. Don't let them go home for dinner. They fucked up and they killed somebody. They better go to jail that night. You know? You know, Michael Vick spent more time in prison for killing a fucking dog than every police officer combined that have been responsible for the deaths of 493 black people in the United States. Chew on that shit for a fucking minute and tell me you are the land of the free. That country is in fear, agony, flames. There's 40 million people unemployed right now. Over 100,000 people died from coronavirus. The U.S. accounts for 5% of the population in the world. And they've accounted for 29% of the deaths of coronavirus worldwide. Here's another one. The U.S. accounts again for 5% of the population in the world and accounts for more than 25% of the incarcerated people in the world. And over 70% of those people in those prisons are black and brown. Wake the fuck up, USA. Wake the fuck up, world. Everyone needs to come together and do something to create change. Get on your platforms. Use whatever you have in you to change what's going on in your communities. Start small, make it big. And changes need to happen. I don't have the crystal ball answer. But I'm pissed off right now, and I'm trying to help recognize that what's going on in the States shouldn't be looked at side-eyed, shouldn't be flipping the fucking agenda, talking about the looting and the rioting. I'm here to recognize that this shit has been happening for so long that it's justified what they're doing. It's justified to burn shit down, to try to bring attention to what the fuck's going on, to try to bring the international community to interject and interfere and try to cause some positive change. We need to do this shit. We can't watch this anymore. We can't let this happen anymore. I'm going to continue to try to do something, beginning with this video, beginning with my platform, beginning with the message, to try to spread that. And hopefully we can all come together and start to see some change in the near future. The systematic fucking change needs to happen. And it starts with all of us. Be strong. Stay united. Be brave. One love.